Hello watch fans and welcome to another video from Vintage Radar. Today we'll be looking at a small collection of Swatch Scuba 200. So these watches will all be listed on vintageradar.com. So in case you want to check out one of them or maybe even purchase one, please make sure to follow the link in the description below or go to vintageradar.com where we have thousands of vintage watches for sale. And at this point we also have around 1000 vintage Swatch watches. So most likely one of the biggest Swatch watch collections for sale online. I will start with this particular model, which is a Swatch Scuba Irony 200, and you can also see Aluminium. So this is a very special model. It is a very large watch compared to the regular Swatch Scuba 200. Some of you might wonder, how do I know that my watch is a Swatch Scuba 200? Here on the back you will be able to see 200 meter. So that designates water resistance of 200 meters. We will go into that even further because these watches, especially the vintage ones, cannot be used for actual scuba diving. So they will not be waterproofed to certain depths. So this is very important in order to avoid damaging your watch. So getting back to this particular model, we have a rotating bezel, we have the metallic case. So in this particular model we have aluminium, and these are known as the Swatch Irony Scuba 200 Aluminium. There are also some models such as this one, which have the same case and shape as the plastic ones, but as you can see they come with the metallic case. In this particular model we have stainless steel, so you can see the difference in colors and also in feel when it comes to these two models. So here we have the stainless steel, and here on the left side we have the aluminium. So both watches are Irony because they have either stainless steel or aluminium. And when we compare these two, you can see they have the exact shape, size, but the difference comes on the back. Here you can see 200 meter, and here you won't be able to see that because this particular model is considered by Swatch to be water resistant up to 3 bars. So they do not have the same water resistance. Now I'll be trying to show you a few models. Here we have the ones on the extensible watch straps. This one has a partially skeletonized dial, so that means that we can actually see through the dial and see the actual movement of the watch. Let's have a look at a few models, and then we will be discussing a little bit about whether you should or should not take these watches to scuba diving. Once again, we can see 200 meters written on the back of the watches. So that is how we know that we have the Swatch Scuba 200 meters version. Most of these, if not all, were made in the 1990s. At this point, Swatch produces a new type of Swatch Scuba. So you'll have bigger cases, and those are called Swatch Fun watches. So they have this 200 meter water resistance, but they have bigger cases. I will try to show you a few pictures of these particular watches so that you can get a better idea. Here we have another few models. Now let's discuss a little the watch resistance for a watch. So as mentioned, these watches are water resistant to up to 200 meters. That means that you could actually go inside the pool with them and they should not have any damage afterwards. The thing is that with vintage watches, they have some small gaskets that are placed where the watch can be opened. So we have a point here where the watch crown can be pulled in order to set the time. And as we can see right here, there is a small place where water could get inside. That is the first place. And the second one is right here where we would change the watch battery. Now on these watches you have rotating bezels. So on these moving parts, as the years go by, there also might appear some small cracks or maybe some small places where the water could go in. So when you ask whether you should or should not go inside the pool or scuba diving with your vintage Swatch Scuba 200, the answer is no. If any of you ever owned a diver's watch, maybe you already know that most, if not all, dive watches usually have a screw down crown and a screw down watch back. So this means that you can actually screw in and unscrew the back of the watch with a special key in this case because it is a Rolex, or with a regular watch wrench that has 3 points, and you can actually go to the left in order to unscrew it and to the right in order to screw it back in place. And also the watch crown is screwed in. So if I want to set the time, for example, on this Rolex watch, I have to rotate the crown to the left side, and as you can see, it begins to go further away from the case until it will pop. And at this point I am able to wind the watch, or if I push the crown even further, I will be able to set the time. Once I have done all of this, and for example I want to go for a dive or for a swim, in order to protect the movement inside the case, so the actual watch, I will push and rotate at the same time so that the crown is now very close, as you can see, to the watch case. So only at this point can I say that my watch is ready to go inside the pool. So on regular Scuba 200 watches, you can actually pull the crown, set the time, and as you can see right here, there is a very small place, even after we push the crown back in, where water might be able to come inside the watch. When it comes to splashes of water, washing your hands, maybe even taking a shower, you should not have any worries of water getting inside the watch. Once again, we also have the watch back, which is screwed in place, but it also has these 3 points where water could go inside and go between the watch case and the gasket inside the watch. So in order to answer your question, because most of you really want to know if you can go inside the pool with your vintage Swatch watch, the answer is most likely no, because there is a risk, especially with vintage Swatch watches, that you will damage the watch, and since the Swatch watches cannot be opened and repaired, that damage will be irreparable. So that was the video, guys. I hope you found it useful. If so, please make sure to give it a thumbs up, leave a comment below with your thoughts. If you own any of these Scuba 200 watches, maybe you have an interesting story about one of them, please share your story so that the rest of the Swatch community can read it. And until next time, guys, all the best.